first female president, and internationally, French PM proposes cutting the national holidays to cut debt. The details of these stories and more coming up next.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
And welcome back, and a special good evening to our listeners of Acoustic Worship Radio. First off, this year's Bike Festival will be a 3-day event culminating in the town of Portsmouth on Sunday, July 27th. The annual Bike Festival, now in its second year, will feature local, regional and international bikers. Bike Fest 2025 was launched this afternoon at the Canefield Airport, where Public Relations Officer of Nature Island Riders Leslie Saja said one of the events, the Ironman Drag, will be in memory of the late Pat Ironman Henry, who was killed in an accident earlier this year.
Day one, we're going to be right here at the Canefield Airport. We are expected to start at 10 a.m. We're going to have a meet-up, and then at 1 p.m., we have the continuation of the drag. From 5 p.m., we're going to have a stunt showcase. Then we move from 8 p.m., we head now to Banana Tree, where we're going to have a meet and greet. Day 2, we come back here at the Canefield Airport. It's going to be wheeling, whiling, bike exhibition. At 2 o'clock, we're going to have the obstacle course. At 3 p.m., we're going to have the balance competition. At 4 p.m., we're going to have the Ironman Drag. The Ironman Drag was actually named after the great late Pat. From 5 o'clock, we're going to have the best freestyle wheeling. So we have a few foreigners. We have some of the best in the world who's going to be coming. And at 6 o'clock, we're going to be showcasing them. At 7 p.m., we're going to have the entertainment.
And that was a Public Relations Officer of Nature Island Riders, Leslie Saja. Bike Fest 2025 continues on Saturday, July 26th and Sunday, July 27th, where a bike tour will take riders along the Eo-Libla Highway to Portsmouth. Bike Festival 2025 will be held on the theme Ride the Bike, Feel the Thrill, Safety is a Must. Still in the national focus, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says he has been a long-time advocate for free movement of CARICOM nationals under the CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME. Last week, following the conclusion of the 49th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM in Montego Bay, Jamaica, CARICOM Chairman and Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Holness, announced that 4 CARICOM member states, including Dominica, will implement full free movement on October 1, 2025. Prime Minister Skerrit tells DBS News free movement of CARICOM nationals furthers the mandates of regional integration.
I believe CARICOM is only going to make sense to ordinary people when they believe that they can move freely within the countries. I mean, to talk about integration, talk about travel, and to talk about economic collaboration and not be able to move freely to enjoy each other's country, it's an absurdity. And so we've been pushing for this for the last 20 years, unrelentingly. Of course, there are some issues with regards to contingent rights and so forth. But we believe that this is an oxymoron in many regards because, in our case, any CARICOM national who comes to Dominica, you enjoy the same treatment as if you were Dominican. And so I'm happy that Dominica was able to agree with Barbados, Belize, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines to move ahead. These 4 countries with some reciprocity in that regard, to allow for the free movement of all CARICOM nationals, irrespective of who you are. And so I think it's very important for us. I think it was a historic moment, and we look forward to other countries joining in short order.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. While Jamaica's Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness revealed that things will be put in place for Jamaica to implement a free movement soon, some member states are still hesitant. Premier of the British Virgin Islands, Dr. Natalia D. Whitley, announced that the BVI, an associate member of CARICOM, would not be implementing free movement, explaining that it would not work for the small territory as they already have a large number of different nationalities. Prime Minister Skerritt says there is no evidence of mass migration, which has been a concern for some.
Some people have some concerns about the likelihood of people coming to countries en masse, but there's no evidence of this in any of the categories that we approved. I mean, I don't believe that there's any urge for anybody to move en masse to any one country in CARICOM. I don't believe so. I think that argument is misplaced.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt. Salary negotiations for public officers have entered a new phase as the Dominica Public Service Union is set to meet with the government next month. General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, Thomas Later, says the union will meet with its members ahead of the meeting with the government.
Our last proposal to the government was submitted a few weeks ago, and only when the positions again after some consultation with our members, which I believe should be very soon after the CPSA conference, we should be able to meet with our members and come up with a revised position that we can go to the meeting. There is a meeting proposed for the 9th of August.
General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, Thomas Later. Members of the Interim Committee of Stock Farm will hold a joint community meeting tomorrow with residents from surrounding communities to discuss the Fonkole landfill. Mrs. Marilyn Cuffey Morris, a member of this interim committee in Stock Farm, tells DBS News among the main items on the agenda is the formation of a formal committee to represent the hamlets affected by the Fonkole landfill, a strategic plan for the landfill relations and plans regarding the immediate and future plans for waste material are also amongst matters to be discussed.
The Stock Farm Interim Committee invites all residents of Stock Farm, Upper Stock Farm, Lower Stock Farm, Belviral, Yampis, Parish Pit, Fonkole to a community meeting on Wednesday, the 16th of July at 6 p.m. at the Dominica State College. We look forward to seeing everyone present at the meeting. Please be on time concerning the landfill.
Member of an interim committee in Stock Farm, Marilyn Cuffey Morris. This interim committee was created after a meeting last Wednesday organized by the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, the Ministry of Environment, and the Fire and Ambulance Service Department with community members of Stock Farm and Environs because of a fire at the Fonkole landfill the week before. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt, during a press conference yesterday, said sometime this week he will address the concerns of the residents of Roseau North regarding the negative impact which the landfill has had on their health and general well-being. Still in the national focus, the government of Dominica has accorded the late Mr. Thomas P. Etienne, former parliamentarian and government minister, an official funeral. Mr. Etienne passed away on June 12, 2025. According to a press release from the Cabinet Office today, Mr. Etienne successfully contested the 1970 general elections and represented the Southeastern District in Parliament. He was appointed Minister for Agriculture, Lands and Cooperatives during the Edward Oliver LeBlanc administration from 1970 to 1975 and later served as an opposition senator from 1990 to 1995. He was also a farmer and a former educator. A day of mourning has been declared for him on July 19th, the day of the funeral, and all state flags on all public buildings shall be flown at half-mast. The official funeral for the late Thomas P. Etienne will be held on Saturday, July 19th, 2025, at the Dallas Pentecostal Miracle Temple. Viewing will take place at 10 a.m. and the funeral mass will commence at 11 a.m. with interment at the Dallas Public Cemetery. The release added that the government of Dominica extends deepest condolences to the family and friends of the late Mr. Thomas P. Etienne. Still in the national focus, Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Oscar George, has urged the private sector and community leaders to support the youth in building a more innovative society. His appeal coincides with Dominica's observance of Global Youth Skills Day, celebrated under the theme Youth Empowerment through AI and Digital Skills. The minister emphasized that Dominicans should harness available technology to contribute to the advancement of society.
To our citizens, This is your era. You do not stand in the shadow of the digital age. You are the authors of its next chapter. Use technology not just to pass time and consume social media offerings, but to create, not only to connect, but to uplift. Let your skills reflect your identity, your heritage, and your dreams. On this World Youth Skills Day, I urge our families, educators, community leaders, and private sector partners to stand shoulder to shoulder with our youth. Together, we will build a society where tradition meets innovation and where every young person feels empowered to lead with purpose. Let us celebrate you, our youth, as builders of a brighter, smarter, and more inclusive future.
George says government has created opportunities for all young people to access the skills that shape the future. Still in the national focus, Chief Education Officer Dr. Jeffrey Blaise has stated that continuing professional development is essential for teachers and a fact that must be acknowledged. Dr. Blaise was given remarks during the closing ceremony of the Dominica Association of Teachers Summer Institute on Friday as the DAT held its annual Summer Institute from June 30th to July 11th at the Convent High School. Sessions included classroom management, music education, use of technology with AI in the classroom, and leadership, as well as management and education law. Dr. Blaise encouraged teachers to embrace continuing professional development.
Because if you want to be spot on with global trends in education, with cutting-edge information and knowledge, you need to continuously apprise yourself of developments in education. I always say that the role of teacher is one of facilitation because the information is all around us and students and the parents have access to it. And therefore your role is one where you work with the students to ensure that they appreciate the grasp knowledge and the concepts. And that means changing a mindset. That means appreciating the role of professional growth and development and always keeping yourself apprised of new information.
128 educators participated in the Summer Institute held under the theme Equipping Educators to Lead, Innovate and Inspire, Advancing Inclusive and Sustainable Education in Dominica. This year, the Summer Institute was equipped with local facilitators, an accomplishment Dr. Blaise said speaks to sustainability in the partnership between the Dominica Association of Teachers and the Ministry of Education.
This year we're doing it on our own, and that speaks to sustainability. For several decades, we partnered with the Canadian Teachers Federation. Prior to that, we call it OCOT before, and that has been sustained. And now we have built capacity here locally to the extent that we are facilitating our own workshops. And that speaks wonders for sustainability, the partnership between DAT and the Ministry of Education. So I must recognize our facilitators, and from all reports, they did an excellent job. I did supper wrong, and I couldn't help but engaging myself in one of the sessions because it was really interesting and the participants were spot on in terms of the feedback provided.
Chief Education Officer Dr. Jeffrey Blaise taking us to the end of this evening's National Focus. Up next is news from the region and international.
Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
And welcome back. Now news from the region. The 15